welcome to World Kitchen. We're really glad that you could join us today, wherever you're coming in from. First off, let me thank our sponsor, as I always do, the Outreach and Online Education Office of Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity. We're grateful for their support. And then I hope wherever you are, you're staying warm and dry. It's been a weird week here with a lot of snow and ice and then rain and then it warms up and then it gets cold again. So it's just all over the place. So I hope wherever you are, you're staying warm. Today I have another one of our visiting Hubert H. Humphrey Fellows with me. Her name is Aravik and she is from Armenia. And she's going to share with us a couple of Armenian recipes that are very traditional. And we've been talking this morning a little bit as we were setting up about some of the similarities to other cultures and other groups who do similar things. But I have never seen this herb and green vegetable flatbread before. So I'm really excited for this one and seeing how she does this. She's going to be really comfortable doing this on her own. So I'm going to bring her in and introduce her. Come on over, Aravik.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, so thank you for coming and thank you for sharing your traditional recipes with us. And I'm just going to let her get started and I'll be behind the camera. As always, if you have any questions, if you're cooking along with us or if you just have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or you can type your question into the chat and we will read it out loud and get her to answer us. So take it away.
Thank you. Thanks, Tamara. Thank you so much for having me. And it's a pleasure for me to be here and share a little piece of Armenia with all of you today. And before we get started, probably you see the flag behind me. It's the Armenian flag. I will just share a little bit of what these colors mean. So the red color represents the Armenian struggle for independence, survival, Armenian blood that we read through the history, and blue is for the blue skies, because Armenian people always want to live under peaceful blue skies. And the orange one, which we actually do not call orange in Armenian, but we say tiranaguin. And tiranaguin translates to apricot color. Why? Because apricot is the Armenian national fruit. It represents the fertile lands of Armenia. So yeah, this is a little bit about our flag. And before we get started, I will just remind you that we're going to make today traditional flatbread called Zhingyalov hats. It's basically a flatbread which is stuffed with a lot of herbs and greens. And we're going to pair it with Tahn, which is an Armenian traditional yogurt-based drink. So before we move on and start with our dough, I want to just walk you through all the ingredients we have here. So first we are going to make the dough, and for it we need flour. I believe everyone who registered for today's show, they saw the amount of ingredients we're going to use. So basically it's there, and we're going to use the flour. It's all-purpose flour. We're going to use the lukewarm water and salt, kosher salt for our dough. It's very simple. And later we will be using all this amazing grain for our filling. So I will tell more about the greens later, but for now, you see that this is what we're going to use. Also, we will use some oil. It's a vegetable oil, but we can use sunflower oil, olive oil too sometimes. We're going to use paprika for our filling and a little bit of squeezed lemon juice. And it really depends on the taste, but we can also use the red pepper flakes and salt. So let's get started with our dough. So we will need a bowl, and we're going to add the water here.
So that was about 2/3 of a cup of water?
Yeah, it's about 2/3 cup. We need 1 tablespoon, and I think this is smaller.
It's smaller than a teaspoon,
so yeah. Teaspoon. So yeah, I think this should be enough. And then we're going to, I will just use my hand. I just washed my hands, so I'm going to mix it with my hands. And then we will gradually add the flour.
Is this a recipe that you learned to make as a child or as you got older? Is this, it's so traditional, right?
It is traditional. So Zhingyalov hats comes from Artsakh, or Republic of Artsakh, or people might know this place as Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. So it comes from Artsakh, and it's widely used in the southern part of Armenia, in Sunnik region. And as a child, I grew up eating this, but not cooking this, because it's so easy to find it in Armenia. It was easy to find it in Artsakh. And even nowadays, when we just want to have a light snack, or we want to have a lunch, or we just see that people sell Zhingyalov hats somewhere, we just go in and have it. So
what does the name mean?
Zhingyalov hats, it translates to bread, flat bread with greens.
Okay.
So Zhingyal is greens, hats is bread in Armenian.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very easy to cook. As you see, we don't need a lot of ingredients here. And the tradition says that this bread was used in rural areas, because in Artsakh, a lot of wild herbs and greens grow, and people were thinking about, back then, were thinking about using all these ingredients and not just having the bread itself, but also filling it with some minerals and vitamins. So yeah. And as you see, this dough is getting sticky, but that's how it should be, no worries. So what we're going to do is to add a little bit of flour. Thank you.
So you're kneading it a little bit in the bowl, but it's...
Yeah, we're kneading a little bit in a bowl, and then we're going to use our working space for rolling it out into some thin circles. And then later we're going to fill these circles with our greens, with the filling.
So you were mentioning when we were setting up that in Armenia, you might have as much as 20 different greens in this
That's
dish?
right, that's right. And I think it depends on the region too, but in Artsakh, people were using around 26 types of herbs and greens. And unfortunately, we cannot find everything here in the States. But thank you, Tamara, for for buying all these greens. I know it's been hard, but yeah, thank you so much for
You just never know what you're going to find here. Sometimes you can find a lot of things, and other times the shelves are empty, and there's never any rhyme or reason to it. It just sort of happens.
Yeah. And you know, you never get the same flavor and taste here. But for all our guests that are watching us now, I would recommend you visiting Armenia and then tasting Zhingyalov hats there in Armenia, because you know, some herbs just grow in Armenia, and you need to be there to feel the real taste of Armenian food, which is something I really miss.
Yeah, you've been here since what, August?
Since August. Yeah, we arrived here in late August. And yeah, we have been here so far doing our program, traveling a lot, which is a part of our program and which is super interesting. We have been having really wonderful time here, even though the weather is cold, but I'm used to it. In Armenia, we experience almost the same weather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have all 4 seasons.
Yeah, I think we've had less snow than normal here. Usually we see a little more snow, but the last few years it feels like we're not getting as much snow as we used to.
Okay, so we are just going to place our dough in oiled, slightly like lightly oiled bowl and cover it with towel. Thank you. We'll cover this and put this aside for some 15 minutes. And meanwhile, we're going to start chopping our greens. Let me just put this aside and wash my hands.
Just clean this off a little bit for you.
Okay. So, let me just walk you through this amazing green plate, green dish, and tell you what we're going to use for our filling today. So basically we have colored greens and red chard here. Also we have parsley, we have green onions, we have kale, spinach, and dill. I think this is all we have. Yeah, so we're going to start chopping and placing it in a bowl.
So one of the questions that Sarah has asked online is how many of the flatbreads will we make with that much dough?
So it's I think we can make around 4 flatbreads with this dough, bigger ones, but it really depends on the skillet you're going to use later. If it's small, you will probably need to roll out your dough in small circles, and some more than 4 will come out, I think.
Yeah, we unfortunately don't have a skillet quite as large as she's used to, so just my largest skillets is going to dictate how big ours are today.
Yeah, we can adjust our dough to the size of the skillet.
So I noticed on the recipe you had kind of categorized the greens into different groups, and you said some of them were, you know, more, I don't know, more sour, some were more sweet.
Yeah. So as there are different grains in Armenia, they have different flavors. Some have bitter flavors, the others are sour, and the rest is a little bit sweet. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that we have a little bit of mint here too that we're going to add to our filling. So I think the recipe just categorized those, but if I ask my friends who are originally from Artsakh, they will share so many names of the herbs that it's hard for me to remember, and the taste is different. So I mean, the taste of each herb is so different that even if you categorize things, the mixture is something that we really need. We need the mixture of all these flavors: the sour, the bitterness, the minty flavor, and then the mix is going to help us feel the real taste of Armenia today. Yeah.
So I noticed you're using the stems of the greens as well. So
Yes,
that's okay?
exactly. That's okay. That's what we're doing in Armenia. We're using the stems unless they are really hard, and that's when we're removing. But usually we use everything.
Okay.
Yeah, no waste, even the stems, because they have special flavor.
Okay.
They have special flavor.
But you were saying that this dish is one that can be made at home, but often you find it more like as street food or out in the, in the restaurants or.
We can find it anywhere. Usually we have it during family gatherings. We have it as a snack. We have it for lunch. We can have it for dinner. We can just feel like we want to have Zhingyalov hats because you feel like you want to have Zhingyalov hats. We can have it anytime. Literally, for me, it's quick fast food, healthy fast food. So.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, you have a little bit of bread with it, of course, but the majority of it is all very healthy.
Yes. You're right. So I see that the stems here are hard, so I'm going to remove this part. We're not going to use it.
Are there other dishes in Armenia that are kind of your national dish or traditional dishes?
There are. There are. One of our traditional dishes is dolma, which you may know. It's grape leaves stuffed with beef and rice, which is super traditional Armenian food. We also stuff some vegetables like eggplant or peppers with the minced beef, the ground beef, and some rice. Also, we have rapama. Rapama is the stuffed pumpkin. And my friend Alex is here, Alexandra from Chile. So she's my support team today. And I think she tried it, and not only her, but also my friends in my group. I just cooked one day and they tried it. So it's pumpkin stuffed with raisins, rice, and a lot of nuts, which gives the dish some sweetness. So yeah, and I think it symbolizes something really beautiful. It's said that, and yeah, we use also honey in it for the filling. Yeah. So it symbolizes the unity, because as far as I remember, and I know, that the rice is the population of the world, and the raisins and the nuts, they symbolize the beliefs, the religions we have, and the honey unites everyone. Yeah, that's what we say.
It's a really nice way to think of it.
And I'm so glad that everyone in the group liked it.
Anna says, hugs from Armenia.
Anna?
Oh. And then one new question is, with winter being similar in Armenia to central Pennsylvania, do you also ever use dried greens, or is it always fresh?
We use both. We use dried greens too. So we use a lot of mint. We use a lot of dried parsley. We dry it when it's fresh. Yeah. So during summertime, we just buy a lot of greens and dry it. Yeah. Naturally, we dry it and then save it for winter. Yeah.
that here too. And Sebastian is watching, and he says he loves the Armenian dishes.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. And you know, one of the amazing parts of this fellowship is that we can share our cultures. So Sebastian, my friend from Ecuador, he shared some Ecuadorian dishes. We tried, and everything tastes so amazing.
Yeah,
Even
he did World Kitchen with us a few months ago.
yeah,
It was really
I was
fun.
watching.
Yeah.
He's a really good chef.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in our group is so good at cooking. Even Alexandra, she's so good. Carla, who did it last time, the Costa Rican traditional breakfast. It's amazing, and it's so wonderful that besides the knowledge we are getting and gaining here, we can also share our experiences and create a little bit of Armenia, Chile, Ecuador, Costa Rica here. It's wonderful.
Sarah asked what that fuzzy green was, and yes, Sarah, that was dill. Yeah, and you're gonna get a strong dill flavor with this. But I think with all of the other herbs mixed together, it's all gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're almost done with chopping. Smells really good.
It does. It smells so fresh in here. All these herbs and vegetables really smells good.
And you know, in Armenia, we would just buy all these grains, wash, put in the fridge. Usually, like we roll it in a towel so that it remains fresh. And then we save it for a week. And we eat it every day, every day. Every single day we can have some fresh greens on our table. And what Armenians usually do, we have our national traditional bread, flat bread, called lavash. So what we do, we just make a wrap. In the mornings we can boil some eggs and make the wrap with eggs and vegetables and a lot of greens. Just really delicious.
Yeah, we have lavash in Iran also, and you can now find it sometimes at Wegmans, and always they have it at Trader Joe's. So it's really nice to be able to get that lavash. It's not as fresh as we're used to, but it does the job.
Yeah.
What a beautiful bunch of greens. I love how the red chard gives it that little bit of red in there as well.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to do now, again, I'm going to use my hands. I will add the oil here.
And again, that's just a neutral oil, so
Yeah,
it can be
this neutral
vegetable, any kind of neutral.
So I will squeeze the lemon.
A friend from Armenia, I think, Asanet,
Asanet.
says you're doing a great job, not only sharing your amazing cooking skills, but also Armenian culture. And we agree.
Great. Thank you, Asanet. So Asanet is my friend from Fletcher. Back in 2018, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just adding paprika here.
And this is the sweet paprika, not the smoked.
Sweet one. And then we will add some salt. I really go by an eye and add the amount I find is enough. Yeah, and I'm going to use my hands to mix everything. So yes, I was sharing that Asanet is my friend, Armenian friend, who I met at Fletcher. Because in 2018, we were studying at Fletcher's School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University.
Oh, okay.
So she was my roommate.
Nice.
And I see that we have my other roommate here too. I see Gohar joins too. So we spent some 6 amazing months together at Fletcher. We learned and we just made great friends. And I'm happy that you are here, Asanet.
So Shelly says the colors are stunning on this winter day. It is nice to see all those beautiful colors. And then Beta was asking how much oil did we put in there?
I think it was more than one
Tablespoon.
tablespoon. Yeah, it should be
yeah.
1 tablespoon.
So not a whole lot. It's really just to get a nice little coat sheen on the vegetables. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to taste it and see if this is something I really want.
If it needs more.
I'm just going to add a little bit
More
salt here. And this should be fine. Tastes so good.
It smells really good. Yeah, I do love the color. It's very vibrant. I've been playing around with watercolors lately and painting just for fun. And some of the things I've been trying to do is vegetables and things. And I really like that Swiss chard. I think I might try to do that. It's so pretty.
Sometimes we simply chop the greens and make an omelet in the morning. That's it. Simple. Very simple. So I'm going to clean this. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to mention. We have here the red pepper flakes. Can you please Tamara open this for me? It really depends on the taste, but if you want to have this flavor, you can just add a little bit of red pepper flakes here. Some people also add black pepper, but it again depends on the taste. What is essential is the grease and the salt and the oil. Some you were mentioning before about the taste of different herbs. So some herbs have that sourness, and that's why we're kind of trying to replace that sourness with the lemon today. That's why we're using the lemon. So I will just wash my hands and clean this space so that we start rolling out our dough. Use this to dry this whole area. Okay, so we have our dough here. It looks really small, but this is enough for today. I'm going to flour our working space here, sorry. Okay. So I will knead the dough a little bit and make sure that it's not sticky. See?
And it's interesting since this is a flatbread, there's no yeast involved. It's just
this is
really simple dough.
Simple dough. And back then this was used by shepherds. So I think they just felt like they could make it more nutritious, and that's why they added all the amazing herbs that grow in the region. So I think I will just use the knife to make little balls. And another one.
And you were saying that the shape of this is kind of important, right?
Yes, because when we start folding this up, you will see that it should be round. It should be round so that when we add the filling and we pinch all the pieces together, it looks like football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that in Turkish food, in the Turkish flatbreads that you can get. We have a place downtown that sells them, and they are in that football shape. With but they have cheeses and different things in the middle.
Yeah, I think we can find it in Georgian
Yeah.
cuisine too. Some regional things that are common. But this is so special because this comes from Artsakh, from Nagorno-Karabakh, and it's part of our culture. This is part of our culture. This is the heritage we have been carrying for decades, and we will. And it's always wonderful for any Armenian to share any traditional dish with friends. So if you're in Armenia and you want to try something new, there will be so many people who will invite you to their places, who will take you to different places, restaurants, show you all the hidden, amazing, wonderful places in Armenia. And yeah, you will feel that hospitality. So I encourage everyone to visit my country and try the delicious Armenian food there.
Yeah, I mean, I think traveling, like, actually, WPSU has a tour coming up later in the year where we're going to be going to the UK, and it's a wonderful experience to do something like that, especially if you are not a very seasoned traveler and you haven't gone out on your own to do things. But I think it's also really, really interesting to travel to countries and actually get to spend time with the people who are native to that country, you know.
Yes, I agree with you.
So it looks like we're getting really thin on the dough. Yeah.
We should. Because the secret here is that we're not going to use any oil for cooking the flatbread. We will just we will just put the skillet on a medium heat and put the flatbread on it.
Okay. Hyson is asking, in Armenia, is long grain rice a staple crop or half wheat and half rice? I don't know what that. So do you grow rice in Armenia?
Grow rice? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably you grow wheat.
Yeah, wheat
for sure.
Yeah, wheat for sure. So this is, I think, thin enough.
Yeah.
Already.
I see what you mean. It did seem like it wasn't a lot of dough, but then you're rolling it out so thin that it's going to be quite big enough. Yeah. So I don't know. I would say that. What do you think that is, Alexandra? Like a centimeter or no?
Millimeter or
Millimeter? Not a centimeter. Yeah, you're right. Millimeter.
It's very, very thin.
Very, very thin. A little thicker than paper, but not a whole lot thicker.
Okay, so I hope this will fit in our skillet. Bless you. I will get a spoon and then start placing our filling here.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
Yes.
So pretty. And it smells so good.
So fresh, right?
Yeah,
Okay, be generous here.
for sure. Okay.
So, how are we going to fold this up? You can start from the top or you can start from the bottom, but if you are doing this for the first time, just make sure that the greens are evenly spread. And then we are going to start by bringing these two parts from the middle and then pinch it.
Okay. So pinch it together.
Pinch it together. And then we will go all the way up, pinching it. Like this. Pinching to the end. And then we're going to make a point here.
Oh, okay.
And then we go all the way down.
So there is an art to putting this together, but it's not quite as difficult as when we did like Chinese dumplings. Oh my gosh, the folding and the intricacies of those was kind of really difficult.
Well, women who have way more experience than I do, they do it so easily and more beautiful than I'm doing right now, but still. And this part, I think I will not need it. And we just seal it. And something that we can do here is to use our rolling pin to flatten it.
Okay.
It should be a flatbread.
Okay. So
That's
you're
why
really
we're-
pushing all of the air out
Yes.
of it.
Making sure that the filling is evenly distributed inside the spread. Nice. Okay.
Said it's over a medium heat.
Yeah, it's over a medium heat, and I think I can just do the rest here too, because we have, as I said, 4 little pieces of dough, and probably we can do 2 bread at a time together. So one thing I found really hard here is finding Armenian food
Yeah.
and Armenian restaurant, because State
course.
College is, on one hand, it's a big place when you see how many students study here at
Yeah.
Penn State. I was amazed when I first saw this huge area, the university, the campus, and all these colleges here. It was so amazing. But at the same time, the State College is a very small university town, and you cannot really find everything here. But still, we're trying to make use of everything we have.
You would be amazed at how much the ethnic shopping has grown over the last decade, though. I mean, even 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have any Middle Eastern, shops. We have one now. There have been Asian markets for quite a long time, but we've got the Russian shop out, on the other end of town. I mean, it really has grown a lot over the last 10, 15 years. So we're getting there, but I agree. It's really hard to find exactly what you're looking for. We got to remember, even though we're at Penn State, and we feel like we've got such a diverse community here. We're really in a very rural area.
Yes, which makes studying easier here
Yeah,
because we're not distracted by anything.
true.
We just need to dedicate all our time and efforts to our studies.
Yeah.
And that's really great. So, do you think we can do this too for now?
Yeah, I
Because it's
think
coming
so.
really big and we can start making our Tahn.
Yeah.
Same way.
So you're kind of
Pinching.
twisting it and pinching it.
Yes,
Yeah.
twisting and pinching. Remember to make a point here. See, sometimes the dough is really thin, and one thing I would like to recommend is washing, rinsing all the grains a day before
Oh.
and let everything dry properly, because when you add salt, it's getting too watery.
Yeah. Yeah, the salt will bring some of that water out of the vegetables and herbs.
Right.
Nice.
Going to use the same technique to make this thinner. Well, experienced Armenian women, they just do several in a minute.
I'm sure it will taste great.
I hope so. So for now, we can use this. Okay. To put our bread here. This one. So we're going to move this to the stove.
Okay. Back on medium here. All right.
Without any oil, we're going just to place it here. Okay. So we will wait until it turns golden brown, but we're going to check so that we do not burn anything.
Okay.
Yeah, and probably we will need 2-3 minutes on each side.
Okay.
And yeah,
Great.
that will be it. Meanwhile, we can start making our Tahn,
Yeah.
the drink.
Okay.
Just clean our working area. So what we need now is yogurt.
Okay. So this is just a plain yogurt, not flavored in any way.
Not flavored in any way. This is similar to what we have in Armenia. In Armenia, we use matsun, which is, when we compare it to this plain yogurt, this one, I think it doesn't have the excess whey, but matsun in Armenia, it has. And also this tastes a little bit acidic, but the one matsun in Armenia that we're using, it's mild, and sometimes it's can can be a little bit sweeter too. So this is very simple. Just leave it for a second to check. Yeah, I'm just checking if we're not burning anything yet. Which can happen if you forget. We're just mixing it, stirring. And we're going to use the pitcher. So we will simply add this yogurt here. I think we're making now for just 4 cups, and for this we used, for each cup I used around 2.5 spoons of yogurt.
Okay.
So it really depends on the taste. If you want something dense, then you can have too much yogurt.
Yeah, I think for this we had just a regular. This is full fat yogurt, by the way, and we had just a regular large container of yogurt, and I think we used about 3/4 of it for this to make 4 cups.
Yeah, and I'm adding salt here, just a little bit. It also depends on the taste. Some people in Armenia, they just don't use salt, but some people do, so it really depends on the taste. Now we need some cold water for this.
Okay, I'll get that for you. How
Just
full
half.
do you want it?
I think half will be enough.
Okay. And is this a drink that you normally serve to guests as well, or is it just any time?
It's just any time. It's just any time. We drink it, especially during hot weather, because it's really freshening. And we drink it cold. Sometimes we can drink it with mint and cucumbers, chopped cucumbers too. But it really depends on the taste. So when it's super hot, I like having Tahn, a glass or 2, and it's really freshening. So this is sometimes called a mountain drink in Armenia, because people used to make matsun, the yogurt, in rural areas, and they were making this drink Tahn by adding some water and drinking. So yeah, I think I will use another spoon for just stirring this.
Over this way. There we go.
Okay, let's see. Perfect. Again, whenever I make something, I need to taste it before serving. I think we will need some more salt here.
So I noticed also in the recipes, all of your recipes call for kosher salt. Is that the typical salt you would have in Armenia? Is the kosher?
We use the regular one with iodine.
Yes, iodized salt.
Iodized. And yeah, we use also sea salt, but for this dish,
Yeah.
we can use both kosher and regular.
Okay.
I will try it again. Yeah, I think it's good, and depending on how much salty you want it to be, we can add it later when we serve the flatbread. So let's check what's happening here. We're still doing well, and we're on a medium heat, right? Before it's ready,
Betha says her bread is kind of puffing up as it's cooking. So it's getting a little, the bread is, I guess, puffing up a little. Maybe the herbs are taking the heat and puffing it up a little bit.
Oh, maybe. Oh, did you flatten it? Did you use the rolling pin to make it flat so that it feels like it's sealed? Because if there is some air inside, it will be
Puff up a little bit.
Yeah, it will puff up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think in that case you can just make some
Holes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it will work. I'm so glad to know that you are cooking with us.
It's interesting that you do it with no oil at all, right? So it's just really searing the bread on the, and you had asked for the non-stick skillets, so you
Yes,
think
that's
it
right.
works
Thank you
best
for
with
reminding.
this.
Yeah, yes. So traditionally, this is baked in clay ovens, and you can also, when you are baking and cooking Zhingyalov hats at home, you can use the skillet and any pan which is non-stick. But yeah, traditionally the flavor is different when you do it in a clay oven. We can always check, and if you see it's
Starting to
starting,
brown.
yeah. And sometimes people wonder how we touch it with our hands and are not burned, but that's something I found out that women do. And it works. And we do not burn ourselves.
When you're home in Armenia, do you cook for yourself a lot?
I will be honest with you, no. Because when you cook for somebody else, you feel that responsibility of doing things. But when you are on your own, you don't really want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. And luckily, I'm not someone who eats a lot of different dishes. But I usually have vegetables, some grilled meat, and greens. So that's all I eat usually. And my friends who stayed with me at Fletcher, my roommates, they definitely know how healthy I was trying to eat. It started back then in 2013 when I wanted to lose some weight, and I did around 30 kilos.
Wow.
So you see, this is brown already. We'll just leave it for some minutes and turn it to the other side. So that's how it started, and I changed my lifestyle. That's why I'm not cooking a lot, but when it comes to my family, I know my brother misses the food I was cooking. So it's a responsibility, and I'm doing it with love.
That's great. Yeah.
And even when we use our hands to cook, it's also a way of adding love to whatever you are cooking.
Yeah, for sure.
It's believed that your hands can literally add that love to the dish.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately here in the States, it's often, as in my family, we live far away from our family members sometimes. My family's about a 10, 11-hour drive. Unless it's me driving, then it's more like 9.5. But, they're far away. So I got to spend some time with my sisters earlier in the fall, and it was just kind of reminded me how much I miss that time, being together, especially with my mom and my sisters. And I noticed when I'm with my husband's family in Iran, they all live pretty close to one another. And so when they're going to have like a big party for the whole family to come, first of all, they're a huge family. So, you might be cooking for 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
But they all get together and they clean the herbs together, or they make the dough together, and somebody's working on one dish and somebody's working on another.
Shared responsibilities.
Yeah, and even
Which
though I
sounds
can't
amazing.
even necessarily understand every word they're saying, I just understand that feeling of them being together and working together. And, I think we miss that some here in the US when we're not close to our family.
That's right, I agree with you. And even Zhingyalov hats, people just get together to make it because it's communal, something communal, like traditional. someone is doing the dough, another one is chopping the herbs, the way you mentioned. So it brings everyone together. Feels like everyone has input and contribution to this dish.
And my favorite part about being in Iran for these parties is the women do all the cooking, but the men do all the cleaning up, which I thought was wonderful.
Sometimes in Armenia, women do the both.
Oh.
Both things, cooking, cleaning, everything. And then receive some amazing words from men saying how delicious the food is.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Some more minutes here, but meanwhile we can just clean this area and then serve the drink.
Yeah, we'll just clean up, and you can explain a little bit about how this drink would be served. So I know in the Middle East they never put ice in anything, so you would not have ice with this?
It depends. I personally don't like adding ice because it loses its
the consistency. Right.
So sometimes people just add some chopped cucumbers and mint. We have a little bit here. I personally prefer having Tahn without anything, just a plain drink. So what we do, we simply serve it like this. And if you want, we can add some cucumbers and mint to it. So I'll just add a little bit here. And let me just check how our bread is doing here. Some more minutes and we're good. We're on time, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anyone else who's cooking with us?
Let's see. Has anybody got something they want to show on camera? How's yours going?
Hot. Ours is very good. It's hot.
Yeah?
We tasted it. It's delicious.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Oh,
go.
wow.
Oh, there we
You
go.
already
Yeah,
have
it
it.
looks
That's
great.
so great.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
You like it? Seems like it's delicious.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy knowing that you're cooking with us and that you like it. Great. Okay, I will just bring the other tray. Oh, it's here. And we're almost there. It's falling apart because our skillet is a little bit. Maybe I can use this one too. Yeah. So.
Okay. Nice.
And we need our knife. So one thing we can do is to add. This is also, it depends on the taste, but we can add some butter before serving. So now you see we have our Tahn and we have our flatbread here. So let me just cut it into pieces.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And we can also just open it here, right here. You see? Oh wow, it's so hot.
It is hot.
Make sure you don't burn your hands. And I will just use my hands. Add some butter in it.
Just a tiny slice.
Just a
yeah?
tiny slice, and it will melt. And it will
Nice.
melt. So, Tamara,
Yeah, it looks very hot.
it looks very hot.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's,
we can give it some minutes to.
So let's try the yogurt while we're waiting for that to cool just a little bit. Nice.
We can add more salt.
Yeah, no, it's great. That looks wonderful. All right.
So I think I put the butter in this one, but
All right.
whatever you want.
Okay.
And usually we just
Fold it?
this.
Okay.
Fold this and
Hold it in the middle. Okay.
let's taste
All right.
it.
Yeah, it's very good. Wow. I wouldn't have thought, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting it to be a little bitter maybe with some of the kale and other things, but it's not at all.
It's not. That's the combination. That's the combination of this grains. Imagine trying this with 20 plus grains.
Oh,
herbs.
no, I can't even imagine. Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Wow, that's so good. It's very, very hot right now, but it's very, very good. So yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this platform to share about my country, my culture, and our cuisine, and share with you this amazing Zhingyalov huts, which I see that people just cooked with us and they liked it. And thank you so much. You're all invited to my country to try the real one there.
Yeah, well, we'll get an email address before you leave so we can take you up on that.
Sure, I'm always there. After June,
Yeah.
our program ends in June, so
Yeah,
after
yeah.
June we'll be there, and welcome.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. All these places that people have come into the World Kitchen to share their food and their culture. I hope to someday be able to go and try them all. But thank you so much for coming. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you will try it. If you do try it, please send us some photos of how yours turns out. We'd love to see that. And keep an eye out next week. We will have the March World Kitchen up, and that is going to be with another Hubert H. Humphrey Fellow, this time from Thailand. So Kalaya will be with us next month with some Thai food. We hope to see you then. Bye.
Videos like this are made possible by support from viewers like you. If you enjoyed this video, visit wpsu.org to become a member today and help us create more content like this.